so we should be live. I'm still farting around with some stuff here in OBS, which I guess you can see. But it's 7 o'clock, so that's the new stream time. So that's when we're starting. Hey, Kajan, good to see you're here already. Just gonna make this so people can actually see you. There we go. So we don't have as much chat going on the screen today, but we do have a hell of a lot. Let's see what I did there. Hell of a lot more hell going on the screen. So I kind of wanted to have the sketch I'm working from on the screen while people were watching, and also for myself. So I've added that to this beautiful mess that I've got up here on the live screen. Okay. Yeah, Kajan, I'm glad you could make it. This was kind of this week's been a bit of a week. The family member who we had who tested positive for COVID subsequently passed away, and we had a funeral the other day, so that wasn't great. But yeah, so that was one thing. And then I've got some kind of weird problem with my back, which has never happened to me before. Apparently everyone's marveling at the fact that I could be so old as I am and not had a back problem, but now I've got a back problem, which basically means that I don't sleep through the night. I have to adjust and get up and go back to sleep, and so I'm feeling a little weird. Yeah, so this is the new stream time. Chose this new stream time also because trying to just get to bed earlier and not stay up quite so late. So from here on out, I'm going to try to stream, instead of starting at 8 o'clock, I'm going to start the stream. Well, that was good. Start the stream at 7 o'clock. I'm going to endeavor to keep doing it on Wednesdays. This week is just different because of aforementioned funeral stuff. So COVID is real. And if anyone tells you it's not real, they're full of shit. And you can tell them to go jump in the ocean. So jump in the sea, is that what the UK people say? I love it. It's the best expression. Yeah, you can tell them to go jump in the sea. Because COVID's real and it kills people. So yeah. But that's all. We'll talk about that for now. But yeah, this week's been a weird week. So weird stream timing. But I'm really excited to get back on with Hell because she's been coming along pretty nice. And what was I gonna do? New stream time. I can't remember what I was gonna do. I was going to try to look something up on my phone. Oh, maybe I was going to see if Brother Pink is... Because I've changed the stream time, I messaged Brother Pink a couple days ago being like, hey, you good to start an hour earlier? And I never heard back. So maybe he'll join us eventually. Brother Pink, if you show up, please mention yourself in the chat and I'll know to add you on my phone. So I'm glad... Welcome, Blitz. Glad to have you along. Kajan, good to have you here, of course. And... how do I just deselect? Ah, there we go. Okay. So some people, I've been posting pictures of the currently assembled Hell. So here she is. She's a big girl. Where's that base that I use? So yeah, you can see her here with some other Tyranid organisms that you may or may not recognize. Here's a Carnifex. So she's quite a bit taller than a Carnifex. I'd say twice as tall as a Carnifex. Here's a Gaunt, which she can basically straddle, which is that's pretty awesome. Here's an amazing Minotaur base giant Gene Stealer Aberrant that Bits of Box made for me. So that's a Minotaur. But I guess he's not really a Tyranid model. We've got a Lictor here for a frame of reference. So that's how tall she is versus a Lictor. Pretty tall. Got a little baby warrior who's taller than a normal warrior. So she's about, I'd say, 2.5 times his height. So yeah, she's getting to be pretty big, which is what I was hoping for. So today, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get some connective tissue in her pelvis because I still don't feel good about how well these legs are reinforced. If you've seen any of my story posts, I got a brass rod running between here, but it's not a particularly large brass rod, and I've got some more brass rods running up into the torso, but the torso is just foam underneath. So those have been reinforced with some epoxy fix-it, which I chose versus epoxy sculpt versus epoxy clay, because epoxy fixed it seems slightly more flexible than other epoxy products, but still like as strong as epoxy normally is. Let's get all these little dudes out of here. This is my Hydra lictor. Watches over me. Get this dude out of here. Okay. Oh yeah, so here's the I don't even know what size this base is. And of course Games Workshop doesn't tell me. Very big millimeter. Do you guys know what size this base is? Because put her on this base and her feet are almost at the edges. She's a very big girl. Very big girl. Oh, that's pretty cool. And you can see, crap, gonna break her. You can see that I started, I should do a better view on this. I started extending her feet, just because her feet, the hooves that I used, I believe are off the Toxicrene model / Maliceptor. Is that what we're calling it? I don't know. Let's go for extreme close-up. So, what's the light like up there? Hold on. Let's do this. So the hooves are off Toxicrene Maliceptor legs, but when I did the full mock-up of the beast, I saw that her feet were nowhere near large enough to support her weight. So what I did is, I wish I'd taken a picture of the other one, because this one was on a funky angle, so the spacer is on a funky angle. Like, you can see there's a bit of a gap underneath it, but not much of a gap, and I'm gonna have to like fix that angle. This one, if you'd seen it before, the hoof came up. Oh, the hoof came up at an angle kind of like this. Oh no, wait, like this with no light. And then I put a spacer to flatten it out, and so there was like a gap in between, kind of like a pizza slice. So I had to fill that in with the putty and then build it up. And I always do this when I'm sculpting. I should totally preserve. Where am I? I should totally preserve this detail on the foot, because I don't want to have to sculpt that again. Like the bit where like the hoof connects to the body. Yeah, I should totally preserve that detail. I'm just gonna sculpt over this because the hoof's gonna wind up being way bigger than it was before. So you can see there the kind of gap in the spacer underneath. And that's just to like extend the hooves. Because if you look at the sketch, Forest Sprite, hey buddy, good to see ya. If you look at the sketch, I'll just make it really big. I can do this. Oh, look at this. Look at this technology. So, look at the size of that hoof in relation to the size of its leg. It is a very large hoof. Hoof? Fuck, I don't know. So mine were not nearly big enough to compare to like the size of the leg. It doesn't look that big there, but anyway, it's pretty big. So I wanted to make them quite a bit bigger. So I think this one is getting to be about the right size. This is not perfect. I'm going to have to cut it down. I'll probably because this is epoxy clay, it cuts very well. So I'll be able to cut it down and kind of sand it down. And then I'll have, I'll probably put a thin layer on top just to get detail on there. But the cool thing, let's put Hal back to our normal size. Get back in the corner. There we go. And let's go back to the, what did I do? Big desk overhead? Big desk overhead. But the cool thing is that I know that these spacers are at the right angle, because when I take her and I stick her on a base, if I don't sneeze, she stands. I think my desk slightly tilts this way, so let's do her this way. Put her on a base, standing, look at that. So they're level, which is cool. And I just have to make the rest of the hoof look okay. All right, what's up? So Forest Sprite joined the chat. What else are we talking about? Oh, this is the Imperial Knight base? Okay, could be. Vex Maxinator. I don't know what a Vex Maxinator is. Hold on here. Chat's wonky. There we go. Okay. One sec. Okay. So, I don't know the millimeter diameter. Yeah, I don't know. This is like is it 160? Is it 110? I have no idea. Oh, I should just measure it. I've got a thing here. How stupid am I? So, survey says that this base is... It's 12 centimeters. So 120 millimeters. Is that what that is? A 120 mil round? Honestly, I convert so many miniatures, but I don't ever use bases, so I don't know what bases are out there. If there's a bigger base, maybe I'd want to put her on a slightly bigger base, because I'm all about using bases for scenic purposes, not for game purposes. Although I guess this is like a good base size for her to fit on. I don't know what size the Carnifex is supposed to be on. I put him on this little tiny base just for painting purposes, so I could get in underneath. But actually, if you look it up, the Carnifexes come on a number of different base sizes. But it's clear that she is no longer a Carnifex. She is something else. I'm not really sure that if I ever, played an actual game, what I would field her as. But maybe, well, I could field her as Old One-Eye. She's just a big, giant bullet sponge size to be an actual Old One-Eye, because actual Old One-Eye is supposed to be this size. But I don't care. Badass is badass. If you tell us what the base is from, I might be able to tell you. Okay, you guys figure that out. Okay, thank you. So there's a 170 by 105 millimeter huge oval knight-sized base. That might be overkill if it was 17. If I put her on a 17 millimeter base, because, well, there'd be a goodly amount of base around her. She certainly wouldn't tip over if she was on a 17 millimeter base or a 170 millimeter base. Stay, because that would be like this. Anyway. Okay. So I guess I'll just use the 120. Thanks for the feedback. But yeah, sorry about the stream being a little random this week, just because this week has felt a little random to me. And honestly, I've really been excited to stream and to work on Hell, but it's kind of been a secondary priority around all the other stuff going on. But I'm glad to be here now. And yeah, we started early at 7, but we're only gonna go until 9. Like, we're gonna do the standard 2 hours that we usually do. We're not gonna go any later than that, just for purposes of being an old man and getting to bed at a good time. Yeah. So let's do some pelvis sculpting. So if you refer to the concept sketch, I'm gonna do this annoying thing again, if I can figure it out. Too many boxes. So if you look at the concept sketch, you can see down in, I don't think you guys can see my mouse, but directly below the head is where you see the pelvis kind of extending down, the part between the two legs. And there's kind of like a cool pelvis piece there, which I think I mentioned before very much reminds me of the classic Tyranid warrior. Oh, you probably can't see that, it's very bright. The classic Tyranid warrior chest piece carapace. But the reality is that on Hell, this is so small, it's like not even funny. Like, that's like, pew, pew, so small. So what I'm thinking is that if you look in that sketch, there's kind of like a lower central portion, and then there's like these two kind of wings that go up on either side of that pelvis piece. So I'm thinking this can be the lower central portion, just as kind of like a nod to the classic Tyranid warriors. I might cut away some of the stuff on the sides to make it come down to more of a point there. And then where you see the two shoulder plates on either side, those would connect up into the more wingy parts that go up on the left and right. And I don't know, I really like the design of that thing. It doesn't look like a standard Tyranid thing. In fact, it looks like some kind of like rack of antlers. I should go see if I have antlers somewhere. That would be a good thing to use to sculpt it from. So eventually I want to get to that, but for now I want to put some more connective tissue in between the legs, just to reinforce this joint, because like I was saying, it's just a brass rod in there, and a goodly amount of, based on the color, I think I did Fix It first here, Epoxy Fix It, which is the slightly flexible one, not very, and then I think this is Epoxy Clay, which is much stronger, but it's a little more brittle. So let's get down to it. I'll get this picture out of here. How are you all doing? What are you working on? Oh, Redria 7. Face cam or riot? I've literally never had my face on the stream. Okay, let's see if I can do it without breaking thing. I've got 2 webcams. I just don't know if the other one's going to work. I have a sinking suspicion I know who Redria is, but I'm not sure. Let's see if I can add another webcam without breaking things. Video capture device. Video capture device. What do we got? Oh. Let's see. Do you work? Was definitely not prepared to be on face stream. Alright, there you go. Who's that weirdo? Ta-dang! It's a very tired looking man. Look, I got some sexy Expanse art in the background. And some cool stickers on my lamp. It's Michelangelo. Okay. You do not want to watch me sculpt. This is what you're going to see. Hey, look at those colorful boxes in the background. Okay. There you go. Now we're done. I'm going to turn that off because we don't need that. Wait, which one is it? No, it wouldn't be that one. It would be this one. Okay. Redria, who are you? Do I know you from Instagram? I have a sinking suspicion who you are. Or are you just rolling up for the stream? Oh, damn. Redria's fucking your husband, isn't it? What a jerk. Working on custom sites for the Terra. Good. Fancy emojis. Yeah, he's leet. What can I say? Hutch, welcome, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. So, reinforcing this thing. I just keep switching between Fix-It and epoxy clay. So the last thing I used was clay. So maybe we should use Fix-It for the next bit. Let's see if we can get this to sculpting distance. Sculpting distance. Okay, can't convert. Yeah, go away. Yeah, Hutch, I have upgraded the stream, but it's not going to function any better. So don't set your expectations too high, buddy, because it's not going to be amazing. It'll just kind of be the same, but with more bells and whistles around it. Okay, is that... I don't know if I really want to hold her that high. Cam setup's weird. Okay, let's do this. This is not detail work. I can show you detail work if we need to. So I'm going to use Fix-It Sculpt for this, which is the... there's all of these different epoxy products, and that's epoxy with an A. Epoxy. Or rather like this, epoxy. They all have different properties. This one's hardest. Epoxy Sculpt is softest. Fix-It somewhere in the middle. I like to pretend that it's got a little bit of elasticity to it, but I don't really know that it does. It's not. Elasticity is not normally a product, or not normally a property. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Of epoxy sculpt. It tends to be... Oh, actually, we'll do this, and then maybe we'll like do some like... If you look at our carapace, it's supposed to come down a bit. Maybe we'll sculpt that in. Although I really like these weird like dots. This bit is from the Toxicrene as well, or the Maleceptor, and I really like these weird dots here, and I wanted to drill them out and use them as like places to launch flesh hooks out of, but I think I'm probably going to cover most of them with the carapace when I bring it down. Okay. So yeah, slight variations in the different epoxy products, but all very good. They're all sandable and like fileable and stuff like that, drillable when they're fully hardened. To varying degrees, epoxy clay being the most receptive to that kind of stuff. Redria, I didn't say that you were fucking her husband. I said you are her fucking husband. Okay. Oh, I got moderated. Yeah, sorry. I should really appoint a moderator because I'm not good enough at moderating while I'm working. Let's see if Brother Pink is here. I should just make him a moderator. Brother Pink, are you alive? Damn it, you're not alive yet, are you? Alright, it's just me doing badly with comments tonight. I hope you enjoy it. What's up? Are you kidding me? Stream is up. Yo, dog. I said an hour early. Can you dig it? Okay, let's see what Brother Pink has to say. Thank you all for joining on such short, busted, weird notice. Good to have you. And gonna keep working on Hell. Gonna do some chit chatting. Gonna actually do some sculpting rather than looking at bits and just chatting about bits. I mean, that was cool. I enjoyed that. Thanks for joining on those streams as well, because it was cool to like hash it out with all you folks and try and figure out what bits to use for this monstrosity. Okay, so fix it sculpt just like epoxy sculpt, just like green stuff. 2-part, part A, part B. Take an equal part of both. Make sure you keep your tools wet and your hands wet while you're working. And it will give off some silt sediment stuff, so be ready for that. Oh my god, I have like so many windows open. Okay, I don't need this one, I don't think. I'll just leave the chat and I'll leave the thing. Yeah, so Forest Sprite, the dude in the drawing, I don't know if you saw in my other ones when I was doing the filming from overhead of my desk and I had all the different pieces out and I had that big drawing in the background. That big drawing is the inspiration for what I'm working on. So I haven't done a perfect job of it, but that's what I'm trying to emulate. So I thought throwing it up there, people could see what we're doing. And it's also useful because like I need to look at the drawing while every so often if I need to ask myself a question about what the hell we're doing. And I have a giant version of it over on the wall over there, but I don't have it under my workspace anymore. So if I have it up on screen, you can all see it and see what we're trying to emulate, which might be helpful. And then you can also, and I can pull it out and look at parts with y'all as needed. But it's not a dude for a sprite, it's a lady. Well, at least my version is a lady. Her name is Hell. That's Hell with 1 H. Sorry, that's Hell with... God, I need some sleep. That's Hell with 1 H and 1 L, not 2 L's, based on the Norse goddess of death. And yeah, on the last stream, we actually had this really wicked conversation about Norse mythology and Norse deities and stuff like that, and like the baddies in Norse mythology, because Hell is definitely one of the baddies. And y'all helped me rename my Tyranid Hive Fleet, which is like the name for my army, because it used to be Hive Fleet Fenrir, because I chose that before I knew anything about Space Wolves, and I'm like, that's probably a bad idea. And then I was like, oh, but what, like, this is supposed to be Hell, and then I wanted to make a different creature that's Loki, and a different creature that's Fenrir, and a different creature that's Jomagundr, or Midgard Serpent, or whatever. So I was like, how can I make this work? Like, what's the overarching theme? And then someone gave me Angrboda, who is the frost giant, I believe, that Loki sleeps with to create their 3 children, Hel, Jormungandr, and Fenrir. So this is one of the children we're working on right now. But man, I went like deep in that hole. I went like so crazy. Thinking about all the different ways that I could like make this Angrboda thing work with the fluff. Like, it's the whole thing where, like, she is a giantess that Loki slept with to, like, birth all these monsters, and they call her, like, the mother of monsters. Like, how cool is the mother of monsters for a Hive Fleet name? I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. So, Adam, are you serious? Adam, you guys, I love how you guys always have your face on your chat, which is completely... I would say kind of counterintuitive, because y'all look the same and y'all sound the same. So it's just 3 people who look the same and sound the same chatting together. So here's my face. Hi, Adam. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Sorry about the short notice. I don't know, Kajan. I don't know why people want to see my face. I think it's strange because, like, really, this is going to be my face. How does this look? Oh, yeah, just doing some sculpting. Oh, don't worry about it. Anyway, if you want to see my face, you should watch the Xenos Alchemist episodes, because they're all like podcasty and facey. So there's your face quotient. I'm gonna get rid of this. Anyway, Angrboda. There's no E in there. It's Angrboda. She is the mother of monsters. So I have this crazy idea that was derived from my original Hive Fleet fluff for Hive Fleet Fenrir, which was that Fenrir is trapped on a planet because their hive ships crashed and a bunch of the Tyranid organisms survived, but they got stuck on this planet because their hive ships are not viable anymore. and after a time, the hive ship kind of integrates itself with the planet, and starts to like take on the mantle of the planet as its own. I need more putty. That's an embarrassing problem to have. God, I never have that problem. So the hive ship integrates itself in the planet and takes the planet's mantle as its exoskeleton, starts burrowing in. Oh, that is not good. Pay attention to what you're doing. Part A, Part B. Look, they're black and white. That's how you remember. Yeah, so I thought, how cool would it be if, because you got to have the whole like Loki getting on with Angrboda, and then that's how they birth the monsters. So Loki is going to be this like alpha lictor type thing that we talked about last time, because lictors are vanguard organisms. Like, you could see them like going out and questing for information, certainly for the Hive Fleet. But what if there was like a certain version of a lictor that was meant to be a genetic scout? Whereas Tyranids go and they like consume planets and they like take on their genetic material and blah blah blah. What if in situations where the Hive Fleet, just say the Hive Fleet is completely outmatched by, yes, tea today because I'm feeling like shit. It's peppermint tea. Picture a situation where the Hive Fleet gets somewhere and they're completely outmatched. Like, they're like some kind of super race that can like take on the Tyranids and destroy them. And the Hive Fleet's like, man, we can't get any traction on these guys. And like, sure, I guess by fighting them, the Hive Fleet would like take in their DNA and like evolve. But what if these guys are so good that they're just like decimating all the Tyranid organisms? So maybe they like send out a little like sneaky scout to go and like grab some DNA and bring it back to the Hive Fleet so that it can evolve without having to face them, and then it's better prepared when it does face them. So the idea for this alpha lictor, Loki, is that he roves out ahead of the Hive Fleet, and he can like, by influencing the local inhabitants of this planet with his like manipulative feeder tentacles / hypnotic gaze, he can convince these the people on this planet to worship the Tyranids and to drive him around in their like spacecraft and stuff like that, take him to other planets so he can kind of amass genetic material to bring back to the Hive Fleet, like the genetic material that it needs to get airborne again and to get all its ships going and to like rebuild its genetic stores. Because the idea is that Loki is trying to rebuild this Hive Fleet from this central kernel, which is like a piece of their Norn Queen that survived the crash. But all of her organs for creating new organisms survived, but for some reason her genetic kind of database was scrambled or damaged or something like that, or lost in the crash. So they have to rebuild her genetic database. And the way they do that is that Lictor goes out, Loki, and he finds more genetic matter, but whether it be on other parts of the planet, because they want to keep like the Norn Queen safe. So the Lictor goes out, gets the genetic material, brings it back, and then integrates it into her. Aforementioned Loki having sex with Angrboda thing. So like injects that genetic material, and then that's how the Hive Fleet is reestablishing itself. And the idea is that it needs to find the strains for these specific organisms that it needs to evolve. Like, it needs to evolve an old one-eye, because that's like the epitome of the Carnifex genus. And from creating an old one-eye, it can then create other Carnifexes. And the old one-eye is kind of like the prototypical one. And then maybe it needs to get the Trigon genealogy or the Trigon Prime genealogy to create Jormungandr, and then once it's got that genealogy, it can create things like Raveners and, I don't know, Rippers or other like feeder organisms. And then Fenrir is the final piece of genetic code that it needs, and that, I think Fenrir will be something like what's the word I'm looking for? Something like a... Oh, Adam, I got a moth visiting me. I thought it was too cold for that. Figured you'd like that. It's outside the glass, though. So Fenrir would be the final piece of the puzzle, and Fenrir would be a Harpy or something like a Harpy, like a feeder organism. And by integrating that DNA, that's when like the Angrboda hive swarm or whatever is ready to like retake the stars and go out and fight bad dudes. And that's the point where the actual planet becomes mobile again and starts moving around like a giant hive ship. And yeah, so I went way down this like fluff train which was fun. And it was all inspired by the conversations we had last week about the Norse mythology and all that kind of stuff. So that was really fruitful, I would say. And if you're wondering about my inspirations for this fluff, heavily influenced by, well, like the kind of like the Norse stories, making my fluff fit the stories about the different creatures, but also, oh, anyone ever watch G.I. Joe? Like back in the day, G.I. Joe, classic G.I. Joe, like Cobra. La, 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 la. Does that mean anything to you? Nemesis Enforcer and Globulus and stuff like that. So you can tell why I chose Tyranids, because I love Cobra Law and weird, gross G.I. Joe stuff. But there was a G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe would do this thing where it would do. It was an animated TV program for anyone who's not familiar with G.I. Joe in the late 80s, early 90s, I would say. And on G.I. Joe, they would have these kind of like special miniseries events where a normal episode of G.I. Joe would just be like half an hour or whatever, and then you're done. But then every so often they would have like a 5-part miniseries where they would go and do something a little crazier than normal G.I. Joe. And I think one of them was like Cobra got the weather control machine and they had to shut down the weather control machine, or they had to like put it together with like 5 pieces that were scattered across the world. And then like Cobra Law was another one where it turns out that Cobra was based on this like weird Shangri-La of mutants, like of like what would happen if dinosaurs evolved or if reptiles evolved like humans had, and they had their own kind of society, a la Chrono Trigger. But yeah, so that was Cobra Law, and that's like if you watch nothing else about G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe is not a great TV series. It suffers like all great 90s TV series where you thought it was amazing when you were a kid and you were watching it, and you watch it again, you're like, oh my god, this animation is horrible. It's so bad. How did I ever love this? So yeah, that's the case with G.I. Joe too. But the cool thing about Cobra Law is that it's got like all these weird Tyranid organisms, like all these like crazy mutated things, and there's no they do the whole thing where they have no like hard technology. It's all squishy technology. It's all like weird organic, like it's like bioweapons and these organic creatures that they use in lieu of like jets and tanks and stuff like that, and a lot of cloacas and like things opening and tentacles and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. That was the G.I. Joe miniseries Cobra Law. But, well, I don't know that it was called Cobra Law, but something like that. Look it up. G.I. Joe Cobra Law. It's like Shangri-La, but with Cobra in front of it. But the other thing that I was referring to, that I was thinking about with this whole like Loki going out and collecting genetic material to build this Hive Fleet up again, is the G.I. Joe miniseries about Serpentor, which is like they created their like ultimate general guy who's going to lead Cobra like to kick G.I. Joe's ass finally. And his whole thing was that with the standard need 5 episodes, need to go get some guy. I love the big bad guy that was half snake. Yeah, Hutch. Yeah, you've seen it, man. So yeah, Hutch is referring to Globulus. He's like the ruler of Cobra Law, and he was half snake, and he would like slither into this weird like pod thing that would like close around him, and he would fly around on it, and it had like these weird eyes on it and tentacles. I should go watch that shit again, and I should just make all kinds of gross Tyranid organisms based on it. Anyway, yeah, so one of this miniseries that they did on G.I. Joe was that they needed to create this like super elite general that was going to lead them to victory. And the way they did this with the whole like standard G.I. Joe miniseries plot point is that they needed like 4 episodes, and each episode was them going and collecting like genetic material from a different tomb of like a famous general. Like, so like one of them, they like went and like found the remains of Genghis Khan, and they like stole, oh god, did I say Genghis Khan? Fuck. Forest Sprite, my Hokkaido's showing. Genghis Khan. They found the remains of Genghis Khan, or some like lock of his hair, or some like his coffin or something, because they needed to take some of his genetic material. And then they went and they like found like some like pharaoh's genetic material, and they went and found some like other classic general, like maybe it was like an emperor of Rome or something, and they took all this genetic material and they put it all together, and they created this one like super general out of the genetic material of all these past generals, because apparently they chose nature over nurture. Little genetic humor there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they built this dude, Serpentor, out of the genetic material of all these past rulers, and they had to kind of like reconstitute their ultimate ruler from this other genetic material. So that's kind of inspired part of my fluff, which is that the Tyranids need to reacquire genetic material that they're missing. I feel like that's also like a plot point in like a Zerg mission or something in StarCraft. Yeah, so that's what this Lictor is going to be doing, and bringing it back and injecting it into the remains of the Norn Queen so that she can recreate the swarm. But I really just want to make this display board that is like this, picture like a cave, but you think it's a cave, but then when you look close enough, you see that it's actually like pieces of like old Tyranid organisms that have like petrified into this cave-like structure. And then like in the center of the cave is this kind of like node, which is the piece of the Norn Queen, and maybe it's like glowing, or maybe it's like emitting light or something, and it looks kind of like a weird Tyranid embryo. And then like guarding it is Angrboda, which is this modified Turvagon that it can like take this oh, is that Brother Pink? Oh, I think that's Brother Pink. It can take this like Norn Queen piece and like incorporate it into its body. No worries. Tell me in the chat when you're ready. Chat when you're ready. Yeah, so I really want to do this like display board where it's got like this node of the Hive Queen in the back, and then it's got like the Angrboda thing, and it's kind of like lurking over it and like protectively, and then all these different giant Tyranid monsters are like arrayed like coming down the kind of like hillside from the cave, and this is like the mother of monsters idea. So it would be like a Tyranid Godzilla swarm where they're all monstrous creatures. Is that? Oh, you're here. Okay. Hello.
Hey.
You missed the part where I talked about G.I. Joe.
Oh no.
And Serpentor.
No.
This I command.
Actually, don't even have the stream open yet.
Okay. Maybe you'll still catch it.
Fine.
It's delayed. It's okay. Did you see my message that I sent you about starting early?
No, I didn't. I thought those were the messages you sent me before.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even see it, but I can hook Claire up with Downton Abbey DVDs. But I don't have all of them. I have to season until it gets bad.
It gets bad? Okay. Well, I'll just get her for her.
The last episode I have, things go terribly wrong, and I didn't even watch what happened. I just quit.
Wow. Okay.
Full stop. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just.
Sorry, you want me to read some?
Maybe I'll just buy it for her. I'm actually way behind on comments. The last one I read. Hold on, I should go back. We talked about hell with one E and one L. And Forrest Sprite said I should not have assumed the gender, but I'm also fond of dude as a gender-neutral pronoun. I think dude as a gender-neutral pronoun is pretty hilarious. I certainly use it like that, but I don't think everyone agrees. To call Loki a baddie...
Okay, I think... I'm trying to track down where we are. Okay, I'll just go to the end. Boom, you're not that far behind. Kajan, to call Loki a baddie in Norse mythology is a gross misrepresentation of Norse mythology. And Loki sleeping with a frost giant, it's not Marvel. She's just a normal giant.
So,
Adam Wyer's there.
Let me respond. I feel like, Kajan, you saying that calling Loki a baddie is a myth representation is a good indication that you like playing Tyranids, because I also like bad guys.
The universe is good guys.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I thought it was a frost giant, but she's just a normal giantess. Okay, I missed that part. I misread that. I didn't get that from Marvel, I swear. I just got that from misreading Wikipedia about Norse stuff.
Blitz Mechanica says, if you get around to painting, would you paint Norse runes on Tyranids?
I wouldn't paint Norse runes on Tyranids, but I want, if you look at my original version of Hell, the original version of Hell was on a base that looked kind of like Aztec Mayan, where there was this, like a woman's face, artfully sculpted by none other than Brother Pink. And it was like a woman's face, and it was like half alive and half dead. So I would like to do that again on the base somewhere, but I should probably lean more Norse with this one, rather than going like Aztec, because it was like a kind of jungle base. I'm obsessed with the idea of my Tyranids being on jungle bases. I don't know why, but they're
not. You're doing those whatchamacallit bases.
Well, this is the thing. I've realized that I'm going to do two different ones, because hold on a sec.
Yeah.
because I really like the jungle theme, and when I think about the idea of this new Angrboda idea,
Yeah.
and them being on this planet, I picture the planet as a jungle planet.
Okay.
Because like it needs to be a planet that has enough biomatter that they could kind of sustain themselves on it.
Right.
And if it's like a dead like ice world, then I got to make ice bases, and I don't want to make ice bases. I don't care how Norse my stuff is. So yeah, I want to do jungle bases, but I want to make like this weird kind of Norse in the jungle thing. So you joke about Norse runes, but I don't have any putty. Nivea. You joke about Norse runes, but I could do something like make a base with Norse runes on it, because to kind of nod to the pseudo-Norse mythology influence. My story is that the people on the it's the native people on the planet who gave all this this background, and it's those people who are like quasi-Norse.
Got it. So I'm saying, man, I love the big bad guy that was half snake.
Oh, that's Globulus. Globulus from Cobra.
Right.
We're talking about that.
There's a 3D print guy that has chaos space marines that are half snake that tickle all kinds of nostalgia.
Ooh, I've not heard of that.
You know,
cool.
I think there's a Globulus sitting somewhere in our house.
Oh, I got him. Oh, I should go get him. He's right here. He like inspires me while I'm working.
Right. Tech support online. I guess that's me.
That's you.
There was a cave in Starship Troopers 3 that was actually a giant brain bug. Nice. I'm all about Norse stuff. Can provide reference materials. Have lots of pics from museum. And yes,
who said that?
Are a pain to make. Trying to.
Okay, here we go. Hutch, here's your boy. Holla at your boy. It's Globulus.
Hi, Globulus. How are you?
No, not you, Hutch.
Oh.
Hold on. So this is Globulus. Check out his like cool bio eye patch. Yeah. And see his armor? That's like totally like weird Tyranid chitinous armor. It's all biological. He's in this snake thing. He's got like a weird green arm. I don't really remember what the deal with his green arm is. He's got his big snake body. And the snake body is like twisty. You can kind of twist it and like repose it, but I shouldn't break this. So yeah, Craig, he hangs out with the Odin that you made me.
Nice.
Over on the shelf. And my Mr. Pink toy.
Nice. What's your Mr. Pink toy?
You've never seen my Mr. Pink toy?
Probably have. I just didn't know it was called your Mr. Pink toy.
It's just like a Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs. Oh, and Vivi's over here too. Vivi? I got these guys over on the shelf too. Oh shit.
Okay.
So this is Mr. Pink.
Don't.
We got Vivi. So they hang out.
Can I read you some more comments?
Yes, I guess we should do the work thing. Oh, what the hell is that? Wait. Guys?
John says Norse mythology has elves, dwarves, Jotun, giants,
Jotun!
Sotur, fire giants, and Jotun. Fire giant is a Jotun.
It's a Jotun.
If you go deep into mythology, then there are reasons to assume there's only differences. Oh, nice. That's, I think that VV is mine, actually.
The Vivi? Yeah, it is.
Okay. I realized something. I was gonna make a coffee before the stream. Can I go get a coffee?
Yeah, go get a coffee.
Zombed out.
Do it.
But I wanted to say I got the BattleTech delivery you sent.
Oh, good.
Coming by Surface.
I sent the paper by Surface.
Okay, cool.
Merry Christmas. It was not cheap.
Thank you. The one thing, like, your packaging job is insanely high level.
But I broke it still?
No. Nothing broke. Nothing was ever gonna break. The models are not that fragile.
I didn't want them to bend.
I can bend them back. But the thing is that, first of all, the tape was hard as hell to get through. But second of all, the amount of styrofoam peanuts you put in there was a problem because I have a 1-year-old that eats everything.
Oh no! I'm trying to make this darker. It's too bright.
But he didn't eat anything. I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'll be back.
Okay, good luck.
Actually, here, I'll just take my phone with me.
Oh, sorry. Messing with the stream. I'm working in white putty and I don't like how bright it's coming through, so I'm trying to darken it. I don't know if this is really worth it, but whatever, I'll do it anyway. Oh, I can do gain. Gains, bro. Gains. Gain. Okay, now you
Have
can
you
see
heard
them.
anything from Marco or Simon about their progress this month?
So Marco has kind of dropped out of the world.
Okay. As you do.
Well, the thing with Marco is, as you remember, Marco, Hive Fleet Moloch, he's all into the Star Wars stuff. And what can you think of that is Star Wars related that could be going down right now?
Oh no, I know that there was recently like a sad thing I had to go to.
What?
There was a funeral there to go to.
What?
They went to a funeral for a kid who passed away.
They did? I didn't know about that.
I saw it on his Facebook or something.
Oh, I don't do Facebook. Damn, I didn't know about that. No, I meant Mandalorian.
Okay.
He's like making like a Mandalorian outfit, and he's like kind of involved in like Mandalorian promotional stuff. So,
What?
yeah, he didn't really explain it to us. He kind of like told us in passing, and we're like, okay, cool story, bro. So he has gone to focus on that stuff. But Simon's working on something for Nomvember. He is sculpting from scratch a Tyranid bust. Yeah, and if you've ever seen Hydra's lictor that he made, then you know that he is damn fine at sculpting Tyranid busts. So he's also been having a hell of a time lately, just because like life stuff and renovation stuff. So he hasn't had a ton of time for it, but he started, and you can see some of it on his Instagram, and he should be getting back to that soon. It's okay, you're making like really weird noises.
What? Really weird vibe?
No, your phone's making really weird noises. I think it was like bumping in your pocket or something.
Maybe. I've got headphones in right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was your mic.
I don't understand. My dog bit off the tail. Oh, the dog bit off the tail of Hutch's globulus.
No, Hutch! That's so sad, buddy.
Crisis is also an opportunity, Hutch. You can figure out a new way of him getting around. Just lop off the tail. I guess that probably happened maybe 20 years ago. So the guy's floating around
It's
anymore,
probably in the garbage. That's what you would do. Okay, so we talk about like converting and stuff, but Brother Pink taught me how to convert, because when we were kids, he like would convert GI Joes. He'd like take them apart, change their arms, change their legs, put them back together.
That's a weird thing, because I don't think I came up with that idea. Like I don't think it was me. I think it was somebody else, and I just got into it.
It's got to be Grant Bobby. He's the only one sent like. Oh, I shouldn't say people's real names on this. He's the only one that I feel like is like, I don't know. I feel like it would fit his personality.
Right.
I think he's also the one who taught us to put cherry bombs inside GI Joes.
Oh, of course he was. He was the one who had all the cherry bombs.
Or maybe that was Dan. On
I think it was. I'm pretty
Lee
sure
side Dan, not your Dan. Lee side Dan.
I know Dan. Dan. Not going to say the last name, but
Yeah.
has a little brother.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Grant, because Grant seemed to have the supply of cherry bombs for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Where did people get cherry bombs back then?
I wanna say that Darkstar got them in Chinatown.
Okay.
Because like Darkstar was like really into like Darkstar spoke Mandarin and stuff, I think. So
Why
I
did
don't
he
know.
get to be called Darkstar? That was my name.
No, I thought that was his name. I thought that's
That was
what we.
my name.
I thought we were talking about him on Xenos Alchemist, and we called him Darkstar, didn't we? Because we came up with Darkstar, Mana Beast.
Whatever. I thought he called me Darkstar.
Oh well, then I don't know. I thought we used that to refer to him.
We're all sad from Toy Story. Oh, we're all Sid from Toy Story deep down inside. It's true. Actually, I don't know if I destroyed any of my G.I. Joes. Mr. Pink lit some on fire.
Quiet.
Lit them with a magnifying glass.
Quiet. These are baseless accusations. I'll neither confirm nor deny.
I mean, this is the culture that has fighting, where you basically have insulting matches. Is that Norse still?
Maybe.
Mr. Pink, I worry, though, that if you're trying to represent your Norse mythology on the base and your jungle thing on the base, you're pulling yourself in two different directions, and maybe just better to kind of focus on one.
Why? Because Norse needs to be snow?
What?
Because Norse needs to be snow?
No. Just that if you want to do jungle bases, do jungle bases. Don't do jungle bases with a Norse mythology twist.
Well, no, it's going to be like a jungle temple.
Nah, sure. Okay. A good, if you want kind of foliage and stuff, Alibaba's a pretty good place to look for
Really?
miniature. Yeah. Another guy on another podcast, on Eye of Horse podcast, he just bought, like, I think $50 worth of plant scenery, and he got way too much, and he made all this cool stuff out of it.
But is it that rubbery plastic?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like it. I mean, I guess I got a deal, but people do really cool shit with that. Like, someone on Twitter did this, like, they took, you know, the ziggurat that they released for Lizardmen? In lieu of releasing any actual models. He took that, and I think he took, like, 2 of them or something, and he, like, stacked them, and he did, like, all these vines on it, and, like, all this terrain, this, like, yeah, verdant stuff, and it was amazing. He did a wicked job.
So wait, what are you working today on? What are you working on today?
This is hell.
Yeah, but what are you working on? His butt?
I am, doing some connective tissue in between the legs because I had just kind of like a thin kind of armature under there. Right. And I want to reinforce it so that I can sculpt, like if you look on the concept sketch there on the stream, he's got like all this connective tissue underneath, and then he's got the crotch piece that goes over it. So I'm trying to make the base for the crotch piece.
His legs are really, like, in the image you're working on, his legs really don't have much detail on them.
They don't.
Cool shape.
Yeah.
But there's no... I'm wondering if you should just take off that thigh armor.
So I thought about taking off the spikes, because I hate spikes on any of my Tyranids. I try to take them all off. I don't know why, but I just do. But, okay. Yeah, except the thing to consider is that this concept was done in like 2001.
Right.
So it was like when the Tyranids were like weirdly defined. Like this concept may have been done during 2nd edition. So it's not.
And back then they were like, well, these guys are going to be red, these guys are going to be purple.
It could have been. So I don't know. I think like I want to keep the thigh armor because I feel like that's a very iconic Tyranid piece. But I think I should definitely cut off the spikes. Yeah, also, in terms of painting this thing, that's going to be a really boring place to paint if I take that armor off.
Right. I just like the fact that it's low detail on those legs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, Kajan says hell is also amazing mythology-wise. The realm and the goddess, with her 2 servants, Sloth, and the second one, his name means slow. When you go visit her, she is going to invite you to dinner, and her super slow servants will serve you, and they take painfully long eternity to do so. Okay,
so how do we represent that in Tyranids? Got any ideas? Kajan?
Super slow Tyranids?
Something like a super slow... or someone that would be a servant of hell in like a Tyranid army? Something to represent those like slow servants? I love doing this. I love like taking it as inspiration.
Like 2 Tyranid things that latch on to hell. Right, they can sit on them because they're so fucking lazy, and they could flop off or something.
Well, I could do them separate, but how are you going to show the latching on? Because I don't want to mar this concept by actually having them latch on.
Slow, don't know. Some of those Raveners, but they're fast.
Let's pick a slow Tyranid. How about a Ravener? What about a winged Tyranid? They're real slow. Yeah, they're pretty slow.
Pyrovores or pyrovores. That would be a cool idea, actually.
Well, also, like, hell is a Carnifex, so maybe a slow Carnifex or something, or a smaller Carnifex?
No. Two biovores that just kind of, they're gonna support it. He's gonna run forward, and they're gonna be blasting spore mines, but they're not gonna move the whole game.
Interesting. Yeah, pyrovores and biovores do strike me as slow kind of Tyranids.
And you'd have to do basically a biovore from scratch.
So make a biovore that looks kind of hellish? Make a biovore that...
No, okay, make a you had your de-slugify thing? This is going to be the re-slugify thing. You turn the biovore into a Tyranid that's got all the bits and pieces, but it's slugified. And it's based off of... Your final piece is going to be based off that old... armor cast model that is just like a slug with a gun coming out of its back.
The Exocrine, the best armor cast model, my favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm re-slugifying the Exocrine.
Also recommends neurothropes.
What are neurothropes? They're from the card game, right?
I think it's a Forge World guy that just kind of hovers there.
No, that's the Malanthrope. Oh no, that's the wait, no, what's that one called? Is that? Yeah, that's the Malanthrope, isn't it?
Alright, I'll Google search Neuranthrope.
What is the special character Zoanthrope? Isn't that a Neurothrope?
Yes, it is. It is a special character. But that doesn't seem like a servant kind of beast. A spin-off of a Zoanthrope wouldn't be a servant. It's kind of got a mind of its own. That's its whole thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, Neurothrope is the HP version of the Zoanthrope. It's a flying brain. You don't know. I'm working on a bunch of
yeah, what are you working on?
Goliaths.
Oh, you're scouts still?
I just made what?
Scouts? Goliath scouts?
That's a lot of work. I'm just making Goliaths. Yesterday I made this cool dude that all he's got is a grenade and he's running forward. There's a pair of legs in the Goliath kit that I hate.
Yeah.
It's the running forward legs. And just like all the other bits don't really work very well with those legs.
Yep.
Except for this guy running forward, his only weapon is a grenade, so it looks really cool. And I sat down last night, kind of figured out what my Goliath list is going to be, and I was really happy with that.
Nice.
And I'm trying to magnetize a lot of them, where all the arms are different options and stuff.
You and your magnetizing.
The kit is really, really cool, but I don't like a lot of the way it's posed, so a lot of it is like, I really like this gun, but the arm holding that gun is kind of in a derpy kind of way.
Their guns are so big, though. They're so ugly. Like, they're way too big. Like Adam, help me out here. I know Adam hates all Warhammer guns and says they're too big, but, like, the Goliath ones, I feel like anyone could tell you the Goliath guns are too big.
Yeah, but that's kind of their whole mythology, is that they're these big-ass, they're basically Space Marines that don't have Space Marine armor.
Well, they need to be bigger then.
If you look at the stub gun, they have a massive stub gun. If you put a stub gun from an Orlok in their hand, it would be tiny. And
I think that makes them look bigger. Give me a big, giant, fat, like, model with a tiny little gun, and that tiny little gun is going to make it look bigger. When you make the gun to scale, it makes them look smaller.
It's like, pew, pew, pew. You don't think it's going to do much. Well, it isn't going to do much. Anyways, let's see. Flying brain, get more Carnifexes. They're functional with OOE anyways. I don't know, that's an area of effect.
Oh no, OOE is Old One Eye. She's Old One Eye.
Actually, Old One Eye?
Yeah, this is Hela's Old One Eye.
Area of effects in OOE, Jesus. Oversized guns are the heroic scale GW employees. Oversized guns. But like, so they do have that big ass gun. It's called a stub cannon. So it's what it's kind of supposed to be.
Yeah. Yo, hold on.
Oh,
I just want to make an observation.
Yeah.
So I do this thing where, like, you can sculpt an epoxy sculpt, like, just from scratch. You don't need to mix it with green stuff. But I'm so used to mixing epoxy sculpt with green stuff that I just do it without thinking. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a detail layer. Okay, I'll mix up some epoxy sculpt with green stuff. And I rarely take the time to just, like, sculpt directly in epoxy sculpt. And especially with Fix-It. Like, I've kind of used it for, like, filling gaps and stuff like that. And I've not sculpted in it directly. And now I remember why I thought it was so useful. And I, like, equated it to green stuff. Because it is taking detail very nicely. Like, I just did this kind of filler stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be kind of like webbing or whatever. And I'm just going to put, like, a little bit of detail in it. And then I'm just going to put a little more detail in it. And then now it's getting, like, really nice.
The nice thing about that area you're sculpting is you have the legs on either side bracketing. So you can't, it's easy to anchor your hand on the legs, and then you're kind of keeping that thing you're sculpting on safe.
Yeah, I'm not going to shove my finger in it.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I could.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Nothing stops me, but...
So, when you finally get to the level of detail you want, and everyone tells you to put that thing down, what are you going to pick up next?
I'm going to start working on the arms, making them from scratch.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Is that from something? Cool.
What?
Is cool from something, or is it just
It's from Community.
Oh, okay.
Hobbit says it all the time. And basically, it's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's talk about something else.
Cool.
The hard thing I ran into with the Goliaths is that I had a difficulty naming them, my crew, my gang. But the Goliath gang, it's based off of you know Laputa or Castle in the Sky by
Miyazaki?
Yeah. So the pirate gang in that is called the Dola Gang, and I really like that name, so my gang is going to be the Dola Gang. Cool. And there's different kinds of Goliaths now. There's vat-born, which are like they spend 3 years in a vat, and they come out as adults. Yeah. But then there's also nat-born, which are natural from actual Goliaths. So they have Goliath traits, but they're a little bit smarter and they're a bit better. So my gang is mostly vat-born, and they're going to be like the typical Goliath, the spiky mohawks that I don't really like, and all the ugly faces I don't like. They have those. But then I have a couple of Nat-borns, and they're the sons of Nat. Or they're the sons of Natalie, so their mother's name was Natalie. And they're gonna be cool. And they don't have stupid spiky headdresses or anything. They just have bald heads, which are pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. Blitz Mechanica approves cutting off the spikes on the leg armor. Nice. Yeah. I do it on I've seen some true scale gaunts, and they look puny. Oh, like because gaunts are too big. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, the one thing I think you're going to have to do is the thighs. They need to be a little bit wider towards the inside, I think, of that dude. Yeah? I think they look too linear, too straight. I think just beefing up the inside of the thigh might... Just to kind of, like, if you look at the image, well, yeah. That's the thing. The legs in the image are really small. They are really small, but they have that angle of the upper thigh where it starts small and it gets bigger near the end. And I think that's an important element to replicate. I don't know. Oh, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. You do? Yeah. I could, I think I could do that in here. Like, I could obliterate the vascular detail in here and just kind of... Oh, shit. What? Stuff you just did? No. What? No. Okay, well, no matter what's going to happen, as we've seen on other streams, no one's going to fucking ever seen this because I got to put that big crotch piece in the way. So some of this is going to come out, and I don't know exactly which is going to come out, so I'm just sculpting it all in case. Right. Yeah. So I don't go back later and go, oh, crap, well, that stuff's visible. And I also need to figure out some kind of something to do along like this, like the central ridge around the bottom, because like Carnifexes have tails, but he doesn't have a tail, or she doesn't have a tail, and I'm not going to give her a tail. So I guess carapace plates coming down the back and kind of curling around. I feel like the 3rd edition or the 2nd edition Carnifex had something like that. Like a carapace that curled down under. Right. Man, I wish Flamhammer was here. He'd tell us. Call not doing a tail on her at all. No. that's part of what makes her cool. Like, I feel like when you have a Carnifex with a tail, it doesn't... Like, yeah, you can have a tail. It's like a... Dude, one of her helpers could be like a worm that ends and could, like, latch onto her butt, but it looks like it's a separate model on a base. And if you moved it up, it would be, like, stuck on her butt. Maybe. I'm weirded out by that. Although, like, that sounds like a bioweapon. Yeah. But how do you make it... I guess the Tyranid life forms that are bioweapons, they really don't adhere to those Tyranid principles, right? Of legs and arms. They could be anything, right? Well, they classically did. Like, the old Tyranid bioweapons, they had, like, arms. Like, if you looked at the old Spine Fist, it had these, like, claw arms that would grab onto the well, you forearm. Could do, like, between Ripper and... What's the bigger one? Ravner? Ravner, yeah. Like a mid-size... A mid-size pickup? Yeah, I like that. Like when you talk about just like a random thing that attaches to her ass, I'm like, when you talk about classic Tyranid bioweapons, that's the way to get me. Yeah. Here it is. It's a reimagined pyrovore. That attaches to her ass? But it's more of a worm as well, right? That kind of, like, it kind of crawls along and then, oh, there's a guy here. It throws up a bunch of pyrovoric acid on them. Pyrovoric acid? Pyrovoric acid. Patent pending. Yeah. Whatever. Jacob Foster says... Hey, Jacob, welcome, buddy. Working on hell today. What are we working on specifically? Her butt. Her butt. Connective tissue in her legs. John says, and I like the old bioweapon more because they were creatures in their own right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The new ones look kind of like creatures, but the creature bit has been like dialed back.
Mm. Yep.
So now what I did is I sculpted like long strands of kind of webbing. I guess you can kind of see that there. And now I'm going in and I'm putting in these little dimples to give it a little more texture, so that if I like put like a wash on it or something, it's gonna look more than just a. You don't want to overdo it. Actually, I should take a bigger tool. This is not. I should take one of these, ball burnisher. They will work much better for this.
Speaking of burnishing your balls.
Yes. What?
It's a joke.
Tell me about burnishing your balls. No, you went there. Take us there.
I don't know.
Give us the hog photog. No, don't give us the hog photog.
Copy hasn't kicked in. So you're extending the. So funny, I saw you post about you're making the feet bigger or whatever.
Yep.
Your classic move of I'm going to use this model and sculpt over the model.
You know me well. Hey, I'm going to preserve the top of the connective tissue on the hooves until I sculpt right over it.
Right.
So yeah, ball burnishers are good for stuff like this, for putting the little dimples in, but they're also good for like the ends of this kind of connective tissue because you're going to kind of like flare it out with the ball. I shouldn't go overboard with these, but I should get some in.
I like the extension you made also, though, just after the hoof. The kind of, is it that negative space you're going to keep it there?
Yes. I'm going to extend her legs a bit, but there's still going to be that like tendon there. Isn't that in the image? I don't know. Oh no, I think that was on the source model, the Toxicrene or whatever. Okay.
I'm kind of itching to get my painting set up.
Yeah.
Organized again, but it's been the dumping ground of all my stuff. So.
Oh, like your desk where you paint?
I've got my coworker here had a Famicom and a Super Famicom and a bunch of games. Like this is Japanese. Yeah. Original Famicom. He's like, I can't have this in my house anymore. I don't play it. Do you want it? I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. And then I was like, because my partner, she loves old Famicom stuff. And I was like, hey, I've got an original, like we have the new Super Famicom, the tiny one.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I've got, like, but she complained, she's like, it's not the same as the old one. And now I literally have the original one. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, great, take it. Yeah, we should take it. We should take it. And I was like, okay, cool. She's like, now sell it. Like, sell it.
She's always about the money, that girl.
I know.
Oh, man, just enjoy it.
I really like those. I can see those dimples on the left side within those little webbings. That's kind of a real, like the old like Forge World did stuff like that on their models.
Well, you got to do it on bigger models because otherwise they're boring.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the reason Forge World did it.
It's a really cool detail, and
it's on her ass where no one's ever gonna look.
Yeah, but it takes a like dot by dot. You're basically doing a pixelate, not pixelation, pointillism or something.
Yeah, just don't want to do too much of it because it gets distracting. So yeah, doing this kind of like connective webbing, you can take like a ball burnisher and you can just kind of use the ball and just run it along there to get that stuff in, and then kind of poke it in at the edges, at the ends. Very useful for that because I was actually having trouble getting my sculpting tool into these parts, and of course I forgot that this is the tool I should be using. Because I can come at it from a different angle.
Jade Finch Scene says, I got my Zem shapers.
Jade, welcome.
They are slightly stiffer than the ones I got from the local hobby store, which are too flimsy. So they are working great. I love the sculpt blend you recommend.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. And those were off Amazon, Jade? I can't remember where we had those from.
They were linked in one of the last.
Yeah, I remember we talked about them, but.
Yeah. Hey, dude, are you watching Queen's Gambit?
No. Apparently, Mom, you can't see Mom in it. Is it any good?
Yeah, she's not in it. She was there for the filming, but she's not actually, does not appear.
Sorry, cousin Steph is calling me. I just gotta, No, I don't want to take it because I'm on stream. I want to send her a text. Hold on.
Okay. Yes. Jade Finishing says yes. Yes. Due to time dilation, I think Nick is texting family member.
I am texting.
I mean, Mr. Pence. Cool. I don't know if I have anything to talk about. No. Anyways. Are you still... you're focused. Fuck that. I'm not going to bother you.
Okay. Taken care of.
Yeah? Sorry. I got nothing to say.
I got nothing to say. Okay, Jade, I'm really glad the Zem Shapers worked out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on getting the German Shapers. Work is being done, but no one is responding to emails, so we don't know what the heck's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
We contacted people who should be able to supply them to us, but they don't want to talk to us. I don't know. The website looks like it's from 1983, which is weird because there weren't websites in 1983, but...
I think what you have to do is consider it's an entire conspiracy from Green Stuff World trying to stop you.
Green Stuff World doesn't have them, though.
I know, but they're trying to get them, and they want to stop you.
Jerks.
Mr. Pink, do you have any Necromunda stuff? Armies or any...
I bought like almost all the gangs because I think they're really cool miniatures. Back when I was in my I will buy everything phase. Now I actually have like a hobby budget and I try not to do that.
Right.
Yeah, they're great miniatures, except for Orlok. They're garbage. I don't have any Orlok, but they're the worst. Adam, back me up. Aren't Orlok the worst? If Adam's still here.
They're pretty cool.
I know you like them because you're crazy.
The magnetization I did on them makes me like them even more.
You mean you magnetized off their dumpy torsos and their dumpy legs for better torsos and better legs?
No, the figures are like an entire figure, but they're separate from their base. They magnetize onto their base, so if you shoot one and he falls down, you just pop him off the base and lie him on the ground.
So you're saying the model looks better when it's lying down?
Sure, why not? That's what I'm saying.
I'm just dumping on Orlok. Don't mind me.
If I ever get that Goliath, the new one with the little juves and the big...
Oh, I got that.
Would you be able to... What?
I got that. Unfortunately, it's trapped in Buffalo with all my other stuff that I ordered to Adepticon.
Well, if I buy one, would you be able to take one of those big boys and make him into a super muty big boy?
That's what I wanted to do with that kit. That's why I bought it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I started on that one, right? I took I wanted to make like a proper Goliath because I didn't think the Goliaths looked like mutated and big enough.
I thought you just wanted to make him Bane.
I basically wanted to make a Bane, but I wanted to make Bane with the excuse that he was a big fat Goliath dude. But I got started on him, but I never finished him. But I should finish him because he was pretty cool.
Adam Weir says the Orlok models are some of the worst looking models GW has released in a long time.
And that's saying something. Adam Weir hates everything. And if that's the worst.
The most recent release I really didn't like. The Jews are kind of cool, but I hate the jump packness to them.
Yeah. That one was weird. Like, the dogs are cool, but I think they're trying to sell that whole kit based on the dogs.
Right. Yeah. Well, like, a typical box of Necromunda will score you 10 units. And the newer releases, they put less units in those boxes now, right?
Yeah, and they try to back it up by putting weird things in.
Yeah. The Orlok one was like, okay, not the Orlok, the Goliath one was like, okay, a big guy and then two little guys.
And the little guys were awesome. Like, I love the weapons they have. They're so good. Yeah. And the female Juves, like, amazing. That box was solid. And then the Escher one came out, and I just didn't really like those models. Is that the one with the hideous cats in it? Is that the one with the hideous cats?
Apparently the cats are a lot less hideous when you get them in front of you.
Oh, okay. Good. Wait, you talking about the new ones or those old ones?
The new ones.
The brand new ones they just previewed?
Yeah. What?
Oh, okay. There was another thing that they, for Escher that they previewed.
Here's Adam Weir saying Their legs are absolutely fat and barely look like they could move at the joints. Their feet are massive.
Your
Their
Orlok
hands look
boys.
awful.
That's
Their
not a good
legs
Adam
are so
impression.
big. Okay, and clumsy looking. They have no necks. What do you think of the new big boxes for Christmas? I forget what they're called.
Oh, the Battle Forces or whatever. I was thinking about them. I was looking at the Tyranid one, which has 1,000 gene stealers in it, which is like the model I have 1,000 of. And I was actually wondering if, because you know they did a resculpt of the gene stealer for Overkill.
Mm-hmm.
They like low key resculpted the gene stealer, didn't tell anyone, never released it. It was only in the Overkill box. And then now I'm wondering if they're like trying to clear old gene stealer stock so they can release the new gene stealers. And then I was trying to look at the other boxes to see if there was like old things in them that they might be trying to clear because they're going to re-release them. But right. I think I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, you're way overthinking it.
Yeah.
I can't get behind them since that release of the what is it called? The combat patrols.
Oh, you got salty by that.
Yeah, so many people did price breakdowns on it, and they included one extra character unit, and then put the price up by $60. So
well, they were a deal before, so they're clawing back some of that deal.
But no one has the price yet on these battle boxes.
Oh, they don't?
Right?
Oh, yeah, so. I saw a breakdown, but the guy was assuming that they were going to be 200, but they'll probably be more.
They could be anything.
Like 200 US.
And actually, though, looking at all the boxes, they do all contain at least one ancient model that could get redone. But that's looking too hard into things.
No, I think that's also the pattern that we saw with those boxes that they released with the Gathering Storm or whatever the heck it was. Psychic Awakening, I don't know.
Yeah.
They would take really ancient models and plow them in there because I think they're trying to clear out ancient model stock.
One of the things that's kind of silly is the Blood Angel one has units you would never take for a Blood Angel army.
Like what?
Like, Blood Angel is a close combat army, right?
You can still take Devastators, can't you?
Yeah, fine. You can do whatever. You can take anything and any hour now. But, like, they just released those Primaris that all have chainswords and bolt pistols.
Ah!
But they didn't put them in the Blood Angel box. They gave the Blood Angels just a regular
Intercessors.
Old guys with big old bolters. Sorry.
Oh, that sucks. You're right. Yeah, why aren't they the bolter chainsword guys? Good observation.
Well, again, it's just clearing off stock.
But clearing off intercessors, like they're pretty recent. Well, I guess they're 3 years old now, but
yeah. And they got a 5-man squad of those little Scouty boys, and then also the big
everyone's getting the Scouty boys.
The tub guys also, they just changed the rules and nobody wants to use them anymore. So
the which guys?
You get 3 guys. They come in.
Did you call them the tub guys?
I don't know.
No, that's good. I like that name. We're going with that.
I don't know.
They're called aggressors. Is that it?
Maybe.
God, why do I speak Space Marines? Space Marines are the worst. I realize I'm probably not sculpting on stream. I hope we're having a riveting conversation.
I'm trying to stop funneling so much money into GW.
Good plan. Me too.
That said, I just actually made an order on their website that should be landing in Toronto someday.
Oh, but I thought you didn't buy that much lately. I assume that you already were not funneling that much money into them.
I bought a Khorne Bloodbound Garrix Reavers to convert to Goliaths.
Cool. Yeah, I've actually... Did I talk to you about my budget? My Warhammer budget? No. I created a Warhammer budget.
Good job.
It's basically a way for me to tell myself that I can't buy stuff because I've already blown my Warhammer budget until like New Year's on like all the paint that I decided to buy because I was going to be a big time painter. I still am, but I just, I wrote it all down and I had to look at how much I spent on paint and I was like, wow, I spent a lot on paint. I can't buy any models. Which is good.
Kajans says the Harpy, Exocrine, and Hive Guard right now are super hot models and people complaining about them never being in stock. So they're in the Battle Force. So the Battle Force isn't actually them cleared stock.
Sorry, tell me again. That's the Harpy, the Hive Guard, and what's the other thing that's never in stock?
Exocrine.
Oh, the Harpy, Exocrine. That's one model. Okay, gotcha.
It's probably going to be $200, 140 pounds.
That's probably 230, 240 Canadian, I guess. Yeah, like there's some good models in the Tyranid one. The Hive Guard, the Harpy. The gargoyles are beautiful. The Hive Tyrant's still very good, but I have Gene Stealers coming out my eyeballs. I would never buy that. And anyone who like is a Tyranid player, I'm assuming has more Gene Stealers than they need. But I don't know.
Well, there's the mistake, Mr. Pink. You're looking at armies you already have. Why don't you look at boxes you've never collected before?
Right. This is the reason they created them. Gotcha.
What was your funny dwarf army that you were talking about?
Oh, Caradron Overlords. I want to make. So I found this notebook where I wrote down all these ideas for like forces that I wanted to make, like ostensibly for armies on parade. And one of the ideas that I had was, I might have talked about this on the last stream. I can't remember. Squat Warp Hunters. So the idea is that the squats survive the doom of their race by putting on like basically diving gear, but the diving gear is warp proof. As diving gear lets you breathe underwater, so too does this squat armor let you exist in the warp without being tainted. So taking like I think a lot of people have kind of gone there, but the idea of Caradron Overlords, they're already kind of in dive armor, and going like full like diving bell, like big round helmet on them, but futuristic, and making them squats that they fled into the Eye of Terror, and because they had this stuff, they could like protect themselves, and all their weird like, you know how they all have like those big like hot air balloon ball things.
Yeah.
So those things would be used as like demon traps.
Okay.
So they would carry those things around, and those would like contain their demons. And then when they needed to like unleash a demon on something, they like throw out one of their demon Pokeballs. And
so would you think of using their actual airships or no?
I was gonna try and convert the airships into warp submersibles. Like, and I was thinking of fielding them using Chaos Space Marine rules. Oh, roll off! Hey guy, buddy, welcome. What else is going on in the chat? Come on, buddy. Oh, Colin Duffy's here. Colin, welcome, buddy.
I should have told you that.
Yeah, why don't you tell me these things?
Sorry.
Jade Finch, they're not new Tyranid boxes. It's just like a Battle Force box that repackages old stuff. They're not on the JW site. They're on the Warhammer Community site, so you got to go to Warhammer Community. I think they're probably going to launch them this weekend on the GW site. But yeah, if you go to the Warhammer Community page, they will have the boxes there for you to see. There's a Tau box, a Chaos Space Marine box, a Space Marine box, a Tyranid box. What am I forgetting? Oh, Tau. Oh yeah, there's the joke Imperial Guard box. Ah! Oh my god, the same models have been out for like 18 years. Wow.
There's also Age of Sigmar.
Oh yeah, there's Age of Sigmar ones too. There's a Caradron one, but it just has a bunch of that like gun haul or whatever that's in the start collecting that I'm not moved by.
The thing I hate is that every time they release a Caradron Overlords kind of box set, they throw in the smallest airship they have, and that thing looks like garbage.
Yeah, and they put in like four of them. Well, there's one good one. There's one good one in that box, but there's two of the shit ones in that box.
Yeah. But usually they just put that shitty one in everything.
Yeah. I'm not moved by that one. But like, I don't really have the cash to do that random thing for Armies on Parade right now. But if someone wants me to do it for them for a commission, I'm happy to.
I think when you make an army like that and you have something that could work as 40k and AOS,
Oh, I wouldn't think about that, but I guess you're right. You always think about that. Having like an army that you can play in 30k and 40k. You're very careful about that. I do not think about that.
Kadan says, in the Psychic Awakening Pariah supplement, they mentioned the Empyrean meeting squat spaceships.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Although Games Workshop went on record as saying they're not releasing any new armies this cycle.
This week.
But I guess this week, I guess they could say that squats are not a new army. They've been around forever.
Nah, yeah.
Oh, one thing. But that kills
this edition, right? They said this edition.
This edition, yeah. People had talked about the cool idea of having like a Xenos, like Dogs of War sort of thing, where it's like Xenos mercenaries list.
Right,
but I guess that would be a new army.
Mm-hmm. It's because they showed the new books they're releasing, and everyone's like, well, what is that book? It just looks like a hodgepodge of stuff.
We talked about that, though, didn't we? On the stream?
Yeah, we did.
It's just a placeholder for a normal Xenos force that you already know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's my prediction.
Makes sense.
Although this weekend they're doing the Decadence and Decay event. I actually am curious to see that. I might actually watch the stream for once because I think that might have a lot of new models in it.
Decadence and Decay.
It's the name of the live stream they're doing to like show new models. And I've been like bitten by this friggin' vampire pirates thing that everyone's obsessed with.
Vampire Fire?
No, vampirates.
Oh.
In Age of Sigmar, everyone's predicting that they're going to have a vampirates faction. Blood Coast or something like that. Vampire Coast. I don't know. It's something that's been hinted at in a bunch of different places.
Okay.
And apparently there isn't, in Age of Sigmar, there isn't like a vampire faction right now.
That's true. Yeah, that is a faction they should bump up. Have you ever seen Dinotopia? We need Exodites. Space Elf Dino Riders.
Yes, we do need Exodites.
Eldar, a book for all Eldar. Oh, so they're predicting that the book is going to be for Eldar. I got the Biosword box last year. Still have 95% to assemble, 99 left to paint. 99% left to paint.
Oh, who was that?
Jake Finch has bought the Bioswarm box last year.
Gotcha. Okay, I think this is at the point where I need to put it down and stop you fucking around with it. So I'll show you what it looks like.
Cool.
Ta-dang! Extreme close-up. So, hold on, let me adjust my light situation. I wonder if it's as easy as this. Oh, maybe it is. Huzzah! Having arms on, lights on arms. Look at this. One sec.
Huzzah for the shopkeep.
Here's hoping I don't break things. Okay, so... Oh, now it's way too bright. That's great. Fantastic. Where is the... God damn. Hold on a sec.
Fantastico. Wow, that's really great, man.
Okay, so... You can't even see it. Shut up.
I can see it.
Oh, you can? Okay, so it's...
I'm time dilated, so...
Yeah, one sec. Let me turn off one of these lights and see. Oh, no, maybe that one is not good. Is this one helpful? Hello? Bueller? Okay, whatever. That's probably...
I'm taking a look at the Warhammer Community Age of Sigmar armies, and they actually look quite good. Except for the Caradron Overlords one. There's a massive troll / squig hopper.
Yeah, that one looks good.
The ogre one, they're old ass models, but
yeah, like 1,000 ogres and one old giant, and then like maybe a new ogre character. So there's the connective tissue. It's not showing up great on the camera because it's white, but a lot of it's gonna be covered because I'm gonna have like a tail piece that comes over here, and then I'm gonna have like the crotch piece right there. Well, actually, where's that crotch piece? Ooh. There we go. Hey, Colin, recognize this bit? So something like that, although I'll have it probably hang down a bit more. With her massive wang or whatever the heck's going on here.
Pubic bone.
Pubic bone. Yeah, so that's going to go there. All right, I'm pretty happy with that.
Wonderful.
Now, I need to not script the rest of the model because I have... Okay, let's rearrange the lights. What the heck? There we go. Bring this one back in here. Okay.
That pubic bone is way too small.
I'm gonna... So, I think you missed this when we were doing this earlier. I'm going to... That's just going to be the central section of it, and then it's going to, like, the wings that go up into the left and the right, because I just want to incorporate that piece because it's such a cool piece. The extensions will come up, like, on the left and the right. Definitely.
Okay. I'd say maybe remove a rib on each side to kind of make a bigger hole in that rib cage.
In the middle? What do you mean?
Yeah. Pull that little tiny piece up on.
Yeah.
Zoom in.
Oh, down the top. Yeah, I should probably take those out.
I'll figure it out. But it looks great. It'll be cool.
Bone. And then also, I think I need to, like, curve in the sides a bit, but I don't want to eliminate too much of it, because then, like, it's the beauty of the classic piece is lost. Also, this is probably brittle as shit, so if I try and cut it, it's probably just going to snap.
True.
But
Colin Duffy says, half disappointed you didn't do a crotch beak like classic warrior picture from the Hive War.
Oh, crotch beaks. I remember crotch beaks. Okay, you want to see me swear on stream? I'm going to try and cut this thing down right now.
Don't do it.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't do it! No, don't swear. Hold on.
No, don't do it on stream. Just do it when you have.
No, I want to do it now because I have an idea. Where are my clippers?
People are talking about Dinotopia. Apparently a show for a much younger audience, but still pretty cool.
Not familiar with Dinotopia. What was Dinotopia all about?
I'm guessing some sort of utopia with dinosaurs.
Well, you'd hope so, eh? Or else that was some pretty bad advertising.
Uh-oh, gonna swear or cut your finger.
It's not the cutting my finger, it's the ruining the bit that I'm worried about. Because this bit...
But, so that event this weekend is something in Decay. They have been kind of floating around this Nurgle unit. We've been seeing hints of it for a while.
have?
So maybe they're just... Yeah, they showed like a claw, and they... Like, yeah. They've been hinting at it for a bit.
So one thing that I drastically hope for this weekend is that this isn't like, hey, here are 3 models. Like,
Yeah,
I hope
that's what it's going to be. Oh, that's exactly what it's going to be.
you are
So-
correct. And I have had this experience before, and I really shouldn't expect any more from Games Workshop because I'm just going to get disappointed. But
Yep.
I want something more than just like, oh, here's one model. Because, fuck, man. Like, I know you guys got screwed over by COVID, but come on.
I think it's going to be a Nurgle character and, like, maybe a new Eldar, one model for Eldar, if that's what they're saying.
What? You think so? Eldar?
Well, if people are in the chat are saying it's going to be an Eldar.
That would be amazing.
It's going to be Eldar. A book for all Eldar. Ooh.
I would be shocked and amazed if it was Eldar. I want that. I can't believe it.
What if it was a book that was Eldar and Dark Eldar in one book?
That's fine with me. Eldar is interesting, man.
Yeah. And that other one. What's that third Eldar faction?
Corsairs?
Yeah.
But I think they need to...
Maybe it is...
Exodites. Exodites?
Whatever the hell the...
Oh, Yanari.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what you're talking about. You know, for a model that's almost 30 years old, this thing is cutting very nicely.
Nice. Well, it took all that time to soften up.
True.
I just acquired some super old, unimpressive Plague Marines. It'll take a lot of converting to make them fit with the new models.
Wait.
Oh.
Are they pewter? Because Brother Pink loves that shit. The old pewter Plague Marines. I thought they were your jam.
They're okay. But if it's the plastic ones, things you can do is look at the model and take that model and just split it apart. Like, use the center torso with new legs, use the old legs, cut them off above the kneecap, put them on new legs, and so you have one model and you spread that between 2 newer models, and you use different elements to kind of, you can do stuff like that. Like, I took those old plastic corn berserkers, put some different legs on them and stuff, and they look great.
Sorry, I'm doing carapace surgery here.
No worries. Go ahead.
I realized I was off camera. Oh, God. My glue is gummed up. What are the pliers I don't care about? Fuck.
The thing of it, though, if there are giving a book for Eldar, like, what would you make new models for Eldar?
Everything!
Well, you'd have to go back and just eliminate older lines and make them into plastic.
Eldar needs a lot of new models. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be Eldar just because that would have to be a Necron scale release.
Right. Yeah.
I think the Decadence and Decay, I think that whole thing could be about vampirates. Because they can be Decadence.
Also could be, like, Eldar were Decadent race, but also...
Yeah, but I don't know. Something about, like, the purple font they chose makes me think... makes me not think Eldar. But I don't know if that's actually indicative.
The pewter leg... Oh, those ones. Colin Duffy's Plague leg marines have a pewter leg torso head with generic Chaos Marine arms and backpack.
Oh, interesting.
Ynnari is a faction with like 2 or 3 models. Keep the Viper. Most of the Affix warriors...
Keep the Viper? The Viper's ancient. Are you kidding me?
Where is the Viper? I like that guy.
Like, the Viper was around when we started in the hobby in 97. I think the Viper had just come out in 97.
I know.
That shit is old. And, like, have you seen the Venom? They can do so much better.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a stupid idea. You should.
Not looking on GW's website.
Tell me what's going on, because there's a lot of
We should have
comments.
new Scorpions and Spiders, even Guardians. Keep the Viper, though. It's perfect.
No, it is crap.
If the box is about $200, it is $40-ish of saving on everything else. And 16 free Gene Stealers. But Ynnari could do with new models, and the color could fit with Dark Eldar, so you could bring out Ynnari Dark Eldar models.
Ynnari Dark Eldar models are just Ynnari models, though.
The Viper is nascent. Also, it is perfect. Ancient. Oops.
Nascent?
I like Warp Spiders. I don't want them to touch the Warp Spiders.
No, we need better models. They're fine, but they could be so much better.
Yeah, they've got something good to work off of, and hopefully they can't screw it up.
Like, y'all saw the Dark Eldar release, right? And, like, what a, like, jump forward that was for Dark Eldar from what they've been before. Like, picture that for Craft World. That would be amazing.
New Swooping Hawks. Those are ancient. Those Swooping Hawks are the old problem.
No. They did, like, a shadow, reboot on the Aspect Warriors. I forgot about this. But someone was talking about it on Warhammer Twitter.
The Fire Dragons may not have been updated.
I think everyone was.
Alright.
Only slightly, but...
Well, I like what they did with the Banshees, where they redid the Banshees, and they redid the Banshee character, and then left it at that.
That was nice. That's a good model for what they should do for everybody else.
Yeah. Do the same thing again. Why not? Well, they can't do it for everybody else. Do it for one faction.
No, do it for all the aspects.
Okay.
Like, that's a lot of models, I get it, but, like, that's what's required.
I think when you do that, you're going to miss... Some of them are going to be hits, and some of them are going to be misses.
I think they've probably already designed all these models.
True.
Like, I think that they can remove that ugly Warwalker. The Warwalker's beautiful! Take that back, I love that Warwalker.
Decadence and Decay just sounds like Nurgle and Slanesh to me, true.
True.
Yeah, I can also
agree.
see how much they vomit all over the Space Marines with their new aesthetic. Maybe it's going to be a new Harley Quinn. I'd much rather not have them do that to Eldar.
Do what to Eldar?
Vomit all over Space Marines with the new aesthetic.
Oh, whatever. They're fine.
Considering they're very small. Harlequins. Do you own any plastic Harlequins?
I do not own any plastic Harlequins, but I have... Oh, no, I do. I'm a liar. I have the Solitaire. Because Jess told me that it's the last model he ever sculpted by hand. And that model is friggin' amazing.
It's a good model. I got to paint it.
You did. And you did a great job. It's in my case.
Thank you. Fire Dragons and Swooping Hawks and Scorpions all got updates. Warp Spiders are still the originals. True. Dire Vengers were updated in 4th edition or 5th edition. Ooh, Colin Duffy is... Yeah.
I feel like Colin Duffy's...
I'm not talking about the Phantom Lord. I'm talking about the one with the Eldar sitting in the pilot. Yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah, I love that. I got no problem with that. I got a lot of problems with Eldar, but the Warwalker ain't one.
It kind of is a weird role to play, though. They have basically a Wraith Lord. Why do they need a Warwalker?
Good point. I agree with that.
And then look at Space Marines. They have fucking 18 different dreadnoughts. So
can we talk about Space Marine tanks? I thought that Gladiator thing already got released. Did they just tease it, and then now they're releasing it?
They previewed it, now it's slowly plopping out onto the floor.
And, like, what's the point of having that thing... did you just say slowly plopping out onto the floor? What's the point of having that thing when you have a repulsor? Like, what's the difference?
I've heard someone say that the repulsor is like the Land Raider, and this is like the Predator.
Isn't this thing bigger than the repulsor?
It's built off the impulsor chassis, which is just like
the pickup truck.
Predator being, what?
The pickup truck.
Yeah, it's built off the pickup truck body, which is basically what the Rhino was. The Predator was built off the Rhino body. This is built off the pickup truck body.
Okay. But the repulsor is that much larger?
What?
The repulsor is that much larger? Like it's like Land Raider sized? I didn't realize.
It's not about size, it's about loadout, right? The Land Raider is transport, and it's got a fucking ton of guns, and it costs a ton of points. That's what that one is.
Okay.
This one is just a tank, no transport, yada, yada, yada.
So while we've been chatting and I've been working off stream, I created a monstrosity.
A good one or a bad one?
Well, I think it'll be better when I reinforce it with some epoxy putty. But I wanted to make like the crotch piece come way further down. So I cut that rib thing off the top of the carapace or of this whatever chest piece, and I kind of like attached it to the bottom. So it looks a little whack now. I've kind of reinforced it with some other pieces at the sides, but I think I can make it better once the super glue hardens and I can get some epoxy putty in there. And it lets me use
our Land Raider
all of the piece.
For sure.
Okay. Pardon my lack of Space Marine. Okay. That's cool. Oh man, I got this putty I gotta use. Shit. Okay. The new tank is called the Gladiator, Kajan. But, okay, so does the repulsor have, like... Craig, you're familiar with the Mammoth tank, right?
Mammoth?
From Command & Conquer?
Mammoth, yes.
There's one of the Space Marine tanks that looks kind of like it has a Mammoth tank turret. Is that the repulsor or is that the Gladiator? Do you know what I'm talking about? I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's got... I think it's got one big barrel that if I added a second barrel, it would start to look like a Mammoth tank. To be short, I was thinking about making a Mammoth tank out of a Space Marine tank.
Probably the Executioner?
Ooh, is that one of the Gladiator ones?
No, it's a Repulsor Executioner.
Oh, that's probably what I'm thinking about. Does it have the missile pods on the sides?
Of course it does.
Do you see what I'm getting at with the
Perhaps.
thing now?
Perhaps.
Oh shit, of course I dropped my tool on the delicate thing I just sculpted.
God damn it. Yeah, I see it, especially from above. It's got the funky turret.
And it's got like a big cannon, right?
Honestly, why did they just fucking keep gluing stupid things onto it? Like,
needs more guns. Space Marine needs more DACA.
Like, the thing I hate the most about it is it's asymmetrical. They put like the main heavy gun on one side, and then they put a gun on the other side. It's a completely different gun, but they're both shooting at the same thing.
I completely agree with you that it's trash. It is like...
Why not just put it...
All of these tanks are trash.
Gun, make it symmetrical, knock off all the stupid missile pods and backwards pointing guns that don't even mean anything in this edition.
Aren't they anti-air or some shit?
But like, facing means nothing. If you have a gun facing in the back, you can shoot something in the front.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted more guns, and that's where they could fit them. They wanted more guns, and that's where they'd fit.
But like...
Okay, so I dump on Space Marines a lot, but the reality is that like I can appreciate good elements of Space Marine design. These tanks are not good elements of Space Marine design. I have no idea why we're doing these tanks.
Well, they're trying to edge out the old stuff, bring in the new. I don't think they've released somebody's commenting about the new speeders. I don't think those have been released.
No, they haven't been released. They've been teased, but they haven't been released.
Yeah.
But like the speeders are just another fucking tank. Oh,
yeah. I do like them, though.
You do?
I'd convert it to a 30k speeder, though.
Always you with the 30k.
Always. Yeah, but the orc designers give it more guns. Okay, I now looked at the announcement. How is this different from the Executioner? Yo, dog, we heard you like guns, so we gave you guns on your guns so you can shoot while you shoot.
Yeah.
The way that it's different from the Executioner is that it's built off the chassis of the
pickup truck.
Impulsor.
Impulsor? Is that what it's called?
It's called the Impulsor. It's built off the Impulsor chassis.
I know things about Space Marines.
So maybe it is a little bit smaller.
Well, if it's supposed to be like Land Raider versus Predator, Predator's smaller than a Land Raider.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Like, for the Repulsor, I wish they would just like scale back all the secondary guns so that you could just take the tank with the primary weapons, fuck all those extras, and just cut the points down so it doesn't cost so much in game, and it would look and keep the make it so that you can build the model with a very simple, less cluttered look, but you can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
To even make the Dreadnought less intimidating.
The Dreadnought what?
Less intimidating.
I don't know, man. That big new Dreadnought they did is pretty cool.
There has not been any good Space Marine design since they went Primaris. It's all ultra tacky and ugly. Skull masks and ugly vehicles.
I don't mind skull masks. I don't mind high tech. I do like the high tech stuff of Primaris, but and I do like the. Is it a Redemptor Dreadnought? What's the new one called? The big one?
The Redemptor. There's also the Invictus Tactical War.
Okay, that one's garbage. But the Redemptor, I had to build one of those because I made a Drunken Dreadnought for Josh. Drunken Dreadnoughts, and that kit is beautiful. Like the design of like how it goes together, it's like, I don't know, Zen Lego. It's crazy.
You did the actual one or the easy to build one?
I did the actual one.
I did the easy to build one.
How was that?
Okay. I'm trying to make it into a 30K thing.
Obviously, but no, like the actual one, I was amazed at like the model design of it. Like how the pieces go together and like how it all like clicks in. Like it was to the point where I was like, you guys should just buy. People should just buy this model just to experience building it, because the building it was a joy, which was cool. Like it felt like actual like industrial design went into it.
Well, maybe the Invictus Tactical Warsuit would be the same.
You're right. I have not built one. I do not know. I just think it looks
dirty.
dirty.
I hate is that stupid guy sitting in a chair though.
Yep.
I get it. Like, they want to make it so that you don't have to be fucking dead and a corpse to get into a Dreadnought,
but you don't have to show that. Like, we have cockpits.
Mm.
You don't have guys strapped to the outside of, like, planes so that you know they're in there. Well, I guess you kind of have, like...
Says the easy-to-build one has no posability. That's true. But I'm trying to make my own Leviathan, which isn't really
nice.
that much anyways.
Oh, shit, I just shoved my finger in it.
No, oh, dear.
Oh, it's the back. It's fine. And this stuff's pretty hard already, so...
Cool. So you're not going to get to the hands today?
No, I don't think so, because we're almost at 9 o'clock. Okay. So I spent too much time...
The only way I would build one is if someone bought it for me, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and even then I would negotiate to get something else.
Kajan, I'm not buying you any Space Marines.
Kajan, do you play Space Marines? What army does Kajan play?
Tyranids. And maybe Kroot.
Right.
Depends on whether his Kroot models ever showed up.
Oh dear. From G-Dubs?
Yeah, he ordered them. Well, I don't know if they're from G-Dubs, but he ordered them for Krootoberfest, and he was having trouble getting them.
Oh, man. It's rough.
Hey, man, post offices are screwed all over the world right now.
Sorry, I was looking on GW website a lot.
You're always looking on GW's website.
Whatever. Now, I think I discovered the point where Space Marines started to go south.
Where's that?
I found the culprit.
What is it? Hit us.
The Storm Talon gunship.
Okay. You fixed it, though.
What?
You made it good, didn't you? I thought you fixed it.
That's the Storm Hawk.
Wait, is the Storm Talon the Ordo Xenos one?
No.
Okay, because that one's sick. Oh, it's the weird helicopter-looking one.
Yeah, the tiny, squat, weird... Yeah.
Someone took that and made it amazing. I can't remember who, and I can't remember how. Someone took that and made it amazing.
There's actually two. There's that flyer, and there's a better one, the Interceptor, that looks like a plane.
That's the Xenos one. I love that one. Ordo Xenos one.
That's not the Xenos one.
Oh, there's another one? Jesus. I can't keep track.
The Interceptor has like a more elongated cockpit, but it's completely covered in armor.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
The gunship has that glassy cockpit.
Yep, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I made a custom Redemptor sarcophagus with normal marine head, like the Venerable Castiferum, so that I could have it looking off to the side to fit the pose I wanted. Yeah. I used to play Imperial Army. That's just Kajan. I used to play Imperial Army and Elder, but I sold those. I'm playing Tyranid currently, and I'm considering getting Harlequins. Oh. You know what your Harlequins need, Kajan? A Redemptor Dreadnought.
Just put it on the base. Who is it? Is it Morkan Gork who always tells me to put dreadnoughts on the bases?
Perhaps. I've seen the Storm Raven. I think the non-gunship converted it to a mech. So
Oh, that sounds right.
Smith worked a little one of those flyers.
Polysmith does make things better. Oh, poor Polysmith, man. He hasn't been doing a lot of model stuff lately. I think like Real Life's been doing stuff because he's living in California and they had all those like fires and stuff. But I would love to see him get back to some models because he's a very talented person. And he has some very good ideas.
That little Storm Talon and make it into like a chicken walker. That looks cool.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
That looks really cool.
So I'm trying to put detail under this carapace extension, and I don't know why, because I can probably just go in and do it with green stuff. Oh, this is getting real tough.
Colin Duffy's asking where he can find this converted Storm Talon.
I don't know.
The internet.
Ask the internet.
Internet pornography.
No, you don't want Storm Talon pornography.
I found 3D printable legs for it. Cool.
That's got to be Blitz Mechanica. I don't even have to look. Blitz Mechanica finds
right.
3D bits for everything.
Nice. Does he have a 3D printer?
I don't know. Blitz, do you have a 3D printer? I think he was using someone else's, but he wanted to get one. Can't remember.
If I got a 3D printer, could you send me those files for those cool walls you have?
Of course.
Nice.
If I remember where they are. I think I know where they are.
There's this like be-all, end-all 3D printer, FDM 3D printer I want to get, but it's way too expensive, so if there's a secondary one that's a little bit cheaper that I might go for.
FDM, so not resin. You don't want to gas out your kid.
No, I don't want that plague resin in my house.
Plague resin, is that? What's the deal with it? It's just like really toxic?
It absorbs into your skin and hardens with UV light.
Okay, but if you don't touch it, it doesn't absorb into your skin, right?
I'm pretty sure vapors of it aren't that great either.
Oh my god. That is...
It's resin, dude. It's resin.
I've used resin to like cast stuff, though.
Yeah, but like think about all the precautions you're supposed to do when you're assembling a resin model.
Yeah.
That's the same for this shit.
Yeah.
Kajan says, now I am suddenly curious what converted Storm Talon pornography might look like.
No! What is that? What rule is that? Isn't it one of the internet rules? Rule 46 or something? If you can think of it, there's pornography of it on the internet?
Right.
Not the one where everything goes back to the Nazis. There's another rule about if you mention the Nazis, you lose. Okay, we got 5 minutes left because I'm going to be a good boy and end this thing on time.
Cool.
Why
did you start it early this evening?
I want to start it early all the time.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to be better with like going to bed at a reasonable hour. And when we do the stream until 10 o'clock my time, I'm just like really amped. And then it's hard to like kind of settle down and stuff. And me and the missus were trying to commit to not having screen time after 9 p.m.
That's a good call.
Yeah. So this is part of that. And then also if I have it at 7 p.m., maybe more people from Europe can tune in. Might not be great for like people in the western part of North America, but I don't know. Watch it at work, man. Everyone's working from home, right? No. Okay, so how does that look? So I was trying to do, if you look on the Hell sketch. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me fix this.
Yeah, you got time dilation.
Oh, also, it is too bright.
I think that's the biggest problem with this sculpting that you're using. The fact that it's white doesn't show so well.
You're right. It's just because I mixed it up for the crotch piece and I had a lot of it. One
Go
sec.
ahead.
I'm trying to fix the settings. Okay.
What else?
So the head's gonna go in. Oh, for fuck's sake! There we go. The head's gonna go in here, and then if you look at that carapace piece over by the big claw arm, it kind of like curves out. So this is what it looked like before. It was kind of like a hook in and like a big gap here, and I was like, I could put the arm there, but I'm like, no, I need to have that carapace line coming in. So it's like one big plate curving around. So that's what I did there. I tried to start doing some like under stuff, but that's probably easier done at later. I just need like a solid piece here that I can sculpt the detail on later.
Right.
If it was earlier, like the problem is I mixed up this stuff to do the crotch, which turned out really well. But now it's starting to get a bit hard. So I just wanted to kind of like rough in like a rough shape so that I could add detail to it later. But the challenge is that when I look at the picture there in the top right-hand corner, the plate looks like it comes down way far. And I'm just trying to like struggle with, I didn't want to make this curve too high. Like I wanted it to be pretty low.
Yeah.
I think it's getting there. And then I think I can put the big arm like in this cavity here. I think the big arm can go here and then the smaller arm can go back here. I think that'll still work even with this plate like this. So this is the part where I should stop sculpting because I'm going to keep messing with it. So thanks everyone for joining the stream. I feel like it was a bit random, but it's always a bit random. Did we not have a technical problem this time? Aside from
I was not here. So.
Oh, that was a technical problem. I also didn't give you a lot of warning that I was going to start the stream tonight because of all the weird shit that's going on right now in my week. But yeah. I'm glad that you all showed up. Thank you. And especially with the short notice, it was a pleasure to have you all here to chat about Tyranid stuff, blather about my Norse mythology fluff ideas, dump on Space Marine tanks. I like that. I feel like we should talk more about like what's revealed in the week and like models and shit like that on the stream. Because really there's not a lot to look at. Like there's a bit of sculpting, but it's not super exciting. But yeah, if you're watching the stream, here's a thing that I never say. Please like this video and please subscribe to the my channel for more streams. Because I assume everyone's subscribed, but if you're not, just check it out. Hit the subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications when I post the notifications about the next stream going up. Or I think you have to enable, you might be able to enable notifications in YouTube, so get on that. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Adam, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Blitz Mechanica, Kajan, Forest Sprite, Colin Duffy. Who else am I missing? Holler. Got Jacob was here briefly. I see Jacob, and I see Red Whatever, who was a plant. What else we got in here? Oh, Jade was here. That was good. Tom Wilson snuck in. Jade Finch was here. Yep. Lots of Colin. Were you on the comments? I feel like there's a lot of comments here I missed. Roll Off, good to see you. Roll Off was asking about the claws. Oh, I think Roll Off is Michael J. Whoever who did all the cool fruit stuff. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Boyo, thank you so much for being here. Sorry about surprising you with the like doing it later than or earlier than normal. But I guess this is the time that we used to do it, right? Before we had our time change.
Yeah.
So
this morning I was like, I don't have to worry. I have an hour to go. So I like took my sweet ass time, and then I was like actually reading what you sent to me. I was like, oh.
Thank you for actually reading. Bye, Forest Sprite. Thanks for coming. Yeah, but would you be okay? Like I know your schedule changes all the time, but if your schedule is pretty normal, is this an okay time for you?
Yeah. Well, let me check next week. What day do you want to do it on?
Probably back to Wednesday next week.
Okay.
That's a pleasant noise.
No, I'm not here that day.
What?
I can't do it that day.
Okay. Well, I'm probably going to try and do it that day, so maybe we'll find someone else who might want to help out.
For sure.
You're okay if we do it without you?
Of course.
I should get Adam to do it. I mean, he's here most of the time. He's an expert streamer. See if he's keen. Oh, I should get Colin to do it. Colin's Tyranid man. This is Nomvember. Colin, you want to be my my dude on the stream? Let me know.
Your second?
Want to be my second? Want to be my number one, Colin? Would you be my number one to my Picard? Do you have moves like Riker? All you got to do is put your leg up on something, man. That's all you need. Yeah, so we'll see if maybe we can get Colin on the stream next time, because Colin is a big Nid person, and if I'm probably still going to be working on Hell, so good person to talk to. But thank you so much for being on this time, Boyo.
No problem.
And it was good talking to you. You can go back and watch the stream to hear about all my talking about Serpentor.
Okay.
Okay, bye everyone. Thank you. Adios. I'm ending the stream.
Still got time dilation to catch up.
Well, I don't know about... Should I end the stream in OBS? Because I think I ended it one place and not the other, and I think it fucked up the time dilation. I'll do it in YouTube. Oh, I can see my arm over. It's gotten to the point where I said I'm ending the stream. It has ended.